Well, hello, kindred spirits. This was my week in New England. I started a new project. I did a lot in the garden, so I'm going to share an update. I'm going to share that travel that we took to Lake George. I did some shopping, and I have a shop update for you. Let me show you a project that I've recently started on the old sugar shack. And I'm going to bring you to the side of the building, but right now I was sitting here watching whirligigs that were falling from the maple trees. Love watching those. I'm going to be working on the sugar shack here on the end, and this is going to be more of a quick fix instead of like ripping off all the siding and whatnot. From what I understand, this sugar shack and the red barn over there, our shed, a lot of this was from the barn that came down in the 1938 hurricane. So I'm not going to be able to replace all this wood, and I don't want to replace it. But what I did was I dug up this whole area and I fought with ferns and everything that went underneath. I'm going to clean this up a little bit more and going to put down some stones. I got some liquid hardener. I'm going to put that all over the exposed wood here to try to stop any more deterioration of this particular wood. Then this board, I found it in said red shed over there. Said red shed, yes. And it's a little too short. We don't even know where this piece of wood came from. There is something that's a little narrower, and there's two of those, so I'll probably be able to marry them together. I'm just hoping it's going to be high enough to cover this area here. On the inside, I'm going to put some critter guard. It's not going to make much of a difference. You can get in the shed so many ways with little animals, but there was, like right there, a super cute hole that we know mice were going in. They can still get in the front, get their warmth if they need to in the cold season. But I'm going to do that. I'm going to get the liquid hardener, put that on here, dig out a little bit more, bring in some pea stone. Then I'm going to get the other two boards. Hopefully they're the right size. If not, I'll have to cut one and marry them up and try to match this width. Then I'm going to put it up and we'll paint it, or stain it actually. This is an opaque stain. We're going to stain it the same color. I forget the name. The container is in the basement, so I'll be able to tell you what it is. And that will be the start of the Sugar Shack project. Once again, I don't know if I'll be doing it this weekend or how much, but I also got two very, very, very tiny bags of cement. You actually mix it in the bag itself. I've never seen anything like it, and I'm hoping it's enough for the floor inside. That's all covered right now with shingles to keep animals out, so I'm not going to be able to show you that right now. Willow is enjoying sitting on the cool stones out front. The new grass is starting to come in, little by little. This side not so much yet. That was put down about a week later, I think. It will come in soon enough. And then in the fall, Ben and I are going to have some more dirt brought in because we need to fix this area. This right here is where a built-in pool was. Let me zoom this back to where it goes. I'm sorry. This right here is where a built-in pool was, and the soil is horrible. It's all ant holes. It's mainly sand. Grass doesn't grow here. We'll put some soil on here. We're going to add a little sand, or we'll just mix it up with this using our little garden weasel or an aerator or something else, and then seed it. And you can even see this has a kind of a divot. But yeah, at least it looks green from a distance. And what I think is funny, we have the beautiful dark green grass that the contractor put in, that seed, our regular grass. And then I purchased seed at a discount store, and it's lime green. Quite a big difference. Now I know it will turn darker over time, but it is kind of funny that this is all the new grass and it is a whole different color than the new seeds that are growing, which was not a off-the-shelf discount seed that I got at a discount store. But quite a difference in color. It's funny, but I'm so pleased at how much this came in just to keep the mud down. Something I need to do over here, which I am already seeing I'm way too late. We have some tent caterpillars that are starting, gypsy moth caterpillars. And I saw this tent a while ago. I meant to get it down and kill them because it has already eaten the leaves on this whole maple tree. That's horrible. They're so gross. The gypsy moth caterpillars, I didn't get to this tent on time. I was going to get it down and burn the nest. If you're not familiar with gypsy moth caterpillars, they can ravage trees. It has actually eaten all the leaves off of this tree, and they've gone over to this tree and ate all the greens off. In the 70s, we had a horrible, horrible time with gypsy moth caterpillars when people were putting aluminum foil around the trees with Vaseline to try to keep them from crawling up and eating all the leaves. I mean, trees need the leaves. They need the sun, and without their leaves, they become very unhealthy. I was just trying to see if I can find any. I'm like, where did they go? They're crawling on the ground, going off to some other tree. They're probably in here somewhere. I just don't see them. But when I was little, I got a penny per gypsy moth caterpillar from my dad, and I did pretty good. I got some good stuff at the candy store after that because there were a lot. And I'm just thinking, I think I have a newspaper article in the house regarding that time. I'm gonna have to take a look. But I got one already out of one of the crabapple trees, and I got it before they escaped their nest, but this one, unfortunately, I was too late. Darn it. One of the many wonderful things my mother saved was this article, and we had a 400-year-old tree across from our house, and she saved this article in the 70s when the caterpillars were taking over and eating the leaves off of so many trees. It was also during our town's 250th anniversary. Pretty amazing. Well, I officially have my first sunburn of the season all across my back, but it is so worth it. I got so much done today and yesterday. I got more soil added to the boxes. I got vegetables planted. I have some, let's see here. I have Brussels sprouts. I have my jalapeno peppers. I don't know if these are gonna keep growing or not. I am prepared to buy others. Over here I have some broccoli and spinach. And then I have banana peppers. Over here are the bush beans, some lemon balm. I have one I still have to plant out front. Over here is the asparagus box that is new, but we have been harvesting quite a few of the plant that was here when we bought the house. And I got these boxes ready for tomatoes, and I'm going to do some cucumbers. One thing I wanted to show you, the little signs that I made that did so well even through the winter. They must have been frozen shut because once winter passed, they did break up. So I do know once I make these, I'll have to bring them in once I clean up the gardens for fall, because I do have my jalapeno one here and I have some others somewhere, and this one's still fine. So I just have to remember to put them away. So I'm going to make some more signs. And over here, I don't think I showed the video. There was a day, this was all weeds, and Ben was playing with the new garden weasel. I forget the name of it. He got it. I'm drawing a blank. And it chewed through this perfectly. So I'm going to clean this up better and get this ready with Rose to plant some corn, because the corn that we grew here last year, even though it was small, was very delicious. So I'm going to amend this, get it ready. I'll bring in some more stones just to finish off the look. And then these stones here, I'm going to slowly move. Some of them are a little heavy for me, but I'm going to make some more paths. I'll probably add some more back to the back of the house. And then I got this cleaned up. I need to attach the top because this top was over in the second box over, and that was for strawberries. So I wanted to get the strawberries over here all on their own. I'm hoping I can get some nice plants still. This is some of the old soil. This goes down to the ground, and I have a couple bags of new soil in here. I ended up pulling what I thought was weeds out of here. It ended up being wild mustard, and it had the beans on it, which I understand are edible and make great salads and the whole works. I did save the plants, but I don't think they're going to be replantable because I looked it up too late. But I was wondering if somebody here at one point had wild mustard in here as an herb. It would make sense. This box has always been just weeds coming up. And I have an oak tree. Over here we have the start of the New York ironweed. These get about 8 feet tall, and they start shading things. I have to shape my boxwood here. But once I have the lupine, I've got the 2 bee balms, I've got my lemon balm. I'm going to repaint my fairy. It's been a little faded. I did read that cottage gardens are doing color blocking now versus all the mix of colors. I mean, they're still doing that, of course, but there's a trend, I don't like the word trend, of color blocking cottage gardens, which is what I do anyways. I've got to stake up all the peonies. Hi, honey, why don't you go under the shade of your tree? Speaking of Willow's tree, I was going to trim this back, never did. It's grown at least, I'm going to say, 1.5 feet in diameter. I had to trim this last year when they painted the house. It's crazy how fast it grew. But the gardens have definitely started popping. Within 2 days, I have irises that are opening. And this grouping of bachelor buttons, there's other names. I will look them up too, and I'll try to put them on the screen or below. These have done so well. And I didn't realize that these actually reseed and spread. I have a plant that's starting in the back there, and I have another one that has started itself over here. And I have the 3 peony plants on the side. Actually, there's 4, but one's not doing well. And our peony plant that has traveled with me since my childhood home, it should be about 100 years old or more, it's not doing that well this year. It usually is blooming by June 4th. It has its buds, but it is really low. It's tiny. So I think it might have got too much soil on it over the past couple years. I have to actually, I'll dig it up and raise it a little bit because you don't want to have the rhizomes covered. This part of the yard, he has not gotten touched. I tried weeding here a bit the other day. I weeded a bit around this bench, but I've decided I'm going to make this a pea stone seeding garden area as well. So I've got some work to do here, not doing it right away. And since I didn't get the equipment in here to dig up some of the things, it's kind of a mess. And I'm going to let myself be okay with it. I do have the pathway to clear up, and I like negative space, so I have some plants that I have to remove, and I have some weeds there. But this area of the daylilies, and we have some sumac, this is what I wanted to dig up, and I was going to put this near the wood line because these grow wherever you place them. They're hardy. This makes me happy, though. I replanted this 3 years ago. It has never been this big and full of blooms. So this worked out well, but I have all of these weeds that have come back, and this has to all be cleaned up. And in the back of the house, I still haven't fixed this fence. This has got rot in it. I probably should just completely start over. This has to all be dug out. It's a raised area from when we had a woodchuck come in, and it dug and went underneath that rock, and all of this soil was from underneath these stones. He tunneled that way and came out the other end. And I just need to bring some more stones in here. I have the boxwoods to shape. I have some weeding to do. But this is our little secret garden area that I've slowly been working on. And I do have the professional landscape blocker here. I don't want any plants, any weeds, nothing. So I do have more stones to bring in because some of it I'm seeing is shown through because we had contractors out here for months with their ladders and their equipment. So some of this just got thin where it needs to be. I still need to trim these. I'm drawing a blank on the name. They're thorny. I don't like them. At one point, I do want these out of here, and I will probably do some sort of evergreen because, I don't know, things that are thorny, that don't flower, I don't see a purpose for them. The inkberries are really taking off. I trim these every year too, but they're getting kind of wiry out here. And I have this area to still weed, and I'll bring in some bark mulch. I have bittersweet growing. Ugh, the bittersweet, the bane of my existence. It's growing here too. 7:30 a.m. I get a phone call from my friend Carla. Do you want to go to see some nurseries up my way? Heck yeah. So we're in the car. It is 8:30 right now, and we're going to do some plant and herb shopping today. I'm also going tomorrow. My daughter wants to go, so I should be getting myself all set in both gardens for the summer. It is 63 degrees. The sun is out. There's some clouds. It is a beautiful day. Before I hit the road officially, I'm going to Bob's Chocolate Cafe, and sometimes they're out, but he has an Italian coffee that has a hint of chocolate, and if I were to use the word addicted, maybe just a little bit. It's that good. So I'm going to see, and they're open, and I'm hoping then I'll have that to sip along the way. Perfect. I think we need the extra wide cart or double layer. Okay. But here's the problem. We have Carla's car, and if my things don't fit, she's going to leave me and my flowers on the curb.
Yes, you're walking.
We both have double carts. So this color, this is a dahlia that would go really nice with the lupin and the other items I got in Vermont. You'll probably see this on Carla's channel too, but I don't know if I'm going to show it yet. I showed you a water feature when we were up in Lake George, and I joked about doing it at our house. But I love the size of this. All right, we're going to have to, this is sweet. I could see this on the property. I'm going to get that excavator back. Neither of us have seen this before. What'd you say it was called?
It's called Matilda, full sun, and it turns into, looks like a pink.
It almost has the color of clover.
It's really fun.
Very pretty.
I'm going to try this.
And I was looking at this for the dark color. The flower has passed.
And look at these. What's this? Graceful grasses. Queen cut.
Queen Tut.
I love that.
Carla said there was some different plants here, and there certainly is. I just grabbed this. It's called American Dream. I was looking for what we call butter sugar here. I don't know if it's the same, but it does talk about the yellow and white kernels. So we're going to give this a try. And I'm going to plant this where I had the corn last year, but just try to do it a little bit better this year. We did enjoy it, but they only got about 3 feet tall. So hopefully this year they get a little bit better. I might even grab some jalapeno because if mine don't grow, I want to have some. Now, I wish they were a little larger. I would love this size, but mucho nacho. I remember I did lovage one year at Groton. Oh my gosh, it got huge and took over. It's almost like celery. I think I'm gonna have to come back here with the truck because a lot of the plants that Ben and I were both looking for are here, including some of the holly. They have a beautiful selection here, that's for sure. You know you have a good shopping buddy when you separate, don't even mention it, and you know you're gonna meet up somewhere. Back at home, I have a new desire to explore another part of our property. We have a good amount of acreage, and our house is way up there. And whenever I drive past part of our property, I keep catching my eye on this opening. There's an opening here in the wall, which means to me at one point this was a cart path, a road to another part of the property, what have you. So I cannot wait to come down here and do some metal detecting. I'm also going to start walking in here and see if I can find where it connects to another part of the property. So this has been intriguing me whenever I drive by. Sometimes it shows up more than others because of overgrowth or fallen trees, but somebody definitely blocked it off at one point with larger stones. And it's so sad to see how high the road used to be, but they keep plowing and going deeper and deeper. But I cannot wait. I don't have the right shoes on right now. I can't wait to come in here and explore this part of our woods. Very cool. I mean, we've been here. We have our no trespassing signs, but to specifically follow this opening and see where it goes, I'm going to do that very soon, but the bugs are starting to pick up, so might not work for now. But I am heading to the gym. I'm trying to be a good doobie. Another beautiful spring day, that's for sure. The flag being flown here, this is a New England flag from 1686, and it became prominent during the Revolutionary War. Let's jump into my time machine. I'm going to dial it back a week and take you to Lake George. This is part of the trip before I went to Vermont. One thing I love about New England is the homes and the buildings. You're going to see wood, you're going to see brick, and you're going to see stone. And those change just as frequently as the weather. We went from sunny to stormy to back to sunny, and that's New England for you. Along the way, we passed many beautiful farms surrounded by long meadow grasses. When it was cut, it's usually done by a lawnmower, tractor, cows or sheep. But then we get into Lake George area, you see manicured lawns surrounded by fences without one cow or sheep in sight. Complimentary glass of Prosecco. Ben is parking the car. And then we're meeting some friends a little bit later for some drinks. Six 50 and 60-something-year-olds going out for a bar crawl. We fizzled at 2 before going to dinner. Very close to the Sagamore, stop number 1 was Blue Water Manor, Bolton Landing, New York. And here comes the water feature that I was telling about earlier. This is very elaborate. This is not what I was thinking of for Sugarwood, but you'll soon see just a little river with a waterfall. Now the second stop was at the Algonquin, also in Bolton Landing, New York, right down the street from the Sagamore. There are so many restaurants and pubs around here, but we had a quick glass of wine here, and then the 6 of us decided to go back to the Sagamore and have dinner. And I have to say, the meatballs and the flatbread pizza were amazing. It's the next morning, which means breakfast time. They have an amazing breakfast menu, but I enjoy a buffet. A good old-fashioned buffet is what I look forward to. They had so much available, and I was a happy girl. So I want to show you, these are prototypes, and I have a few of these that I'm going to be selling starting this week. The price is going to be an introductory price. One reason is I have a lesser amount in this bottle because I want to make sure I had enough for more samples to go out. And we're just sampling out our packaging and the logo on that. So this is our Heirloom Lilac Reed Diffuser. It comes with 5 reeds, and it comes in a bottle that looks like an inkwell. I absolutely love it. It is very heavy, and once the reed diffuser is used, it can be reused for something that I would not use for food whatsoever, but you can put in, just, put in the dishwasher, clean it up, and you could use it for bath salts or things like that. Now I will be heat sealing all of them, and it will come this way in the package. Once again, super limited quantity. Like it says, small batch made here in New England. You can hear Willow pitter-pattering behind me. And once I get some feedback, we will make more of these. Once again, I will fill them a little bit more, and the price will represent that. And we also have a lot more of the New England Meadow soaps. We didn't realize some people would be ordering them in 3s and 4s. That's great. And Shannon's been busy wrapping them. Once again, this is an introductory price because we're just making the labels here right now until we figure out what we'd like to do with it and if everybody likes it, or I should say majority of people like it, because not everybody likes the same thing. But we're going to be changing the label up just a little bit, but this is how they're coming wrapped right now. So these will be on the store. I also got in the toast tongs from J.K. Adams and the conditioner, and those will be online starting once you see this video. Once again, very limited introductory price, and if you get one, please let me know your thoughts once you try it. It does take a couple days for the reed to really get saturated, but I walk by mine and I'm so glad I have it because our lilacs passed before I got to enjoy them with this weather. So I love smelling mine. It is Saturday afternoon, and I am so glad to see the sun. A while ago we had rain. Oh, there goes a hummingbird. And my daughter, which is the next town over, they had snow flurries, and some areas did get snow. Now, unfortunately, the irises are kind of tilted over a bit, but it's just nice to see the sun and that we did not get the snow that some other people got. Wow. Gosh, yesterday, these yellow irises were not open. One thing I was going to show you, but now I really can't, but I can. That kind of makes sense, or that kind of doesn't make sense. But I mentioned in the last video I wanted to find a black umbrella. Found one. but it didn't look like this. I ordered it online. It was only $59. And one, it was smaller than what I believe I read. I could be wrong on that. But when Ben put it up, he said he wasn't too keen on the quality. And last night, it wasn't super windy, but it was windy enough that it somehow came out of the base and snapped one of the stems on the umbrella part itself. And now I have a $59 flat flag. So my story is I'm going to find one out and about that I can touch and feel, because even now, I didn't open the box, Ben did for me and put it up. The quality of this is almost like a soft flag nylon, which I'm sure it would have been okay if we had closed it, but we've been spoiled. We have a super heavy duty one. It was just the bright blue we've had from when we had our pool 2 houses ago. And I really, was hoping to get black. So I need to find one that is a lot sturdier. Wow. When the sun comes out, it is really warming up. I can't believe there was snow this morning. We didn't have any stick. There was just a couple flurries mixed within the rain, but it was that cold. I got quite a few vegetables when I was out with Carla, and then I got some yesterday. My daughter and I were going to go shopping, but she ended up staying at the office to fulfill more orders. She's such a hard worker, so we'll go next week. But I did end up getting some more plants when I was out and about yesterday. So I think the vegetables are just about done that I'm going to be buying. She says, my fingers are crossed right now. But I'm going to be doing a lot more container planting. And let's go out front, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing out there. Now she just went chasing after probably a bird or a squirrel. I've got weeds over here too. Ben mentioned that Mama Bird she's still in there. Lots of baby birds over there. What are you looking at in here? I hope there's no rabbit in here. She wants to go in bad. Let me just make sure there is no rabbit. Well, she saw something come in here, that's for sure. I hope I don't get startled by something. I bet it was a chipmunk. Unfortunately, the sun went behind a cloud, but I mentioned in my last video that I was going to build a box and do that this year. I came home and saw how much weeding I have to do and how much I still want to do in the yard. I'm going to leave well enough alone, but I am going to modify these, which I was going to do anyways. I do have some more soil. I have more large black planters that I've collected from around the yard. I'm going to bring those in here, and I'm just going to do some modifications and let the garden do what it's going to do this year, and I can work on it slowly. I mean, I've made huge changes since last year. We didn't have a garden at all, and this has worked. But I'm going to step away because there is a Mama Robin. She just took off. I don't want to bother her because Ben said there were a ton of babies he was watching this morning, and I just want them to be relaxed. I did purchase this sweet hydrangea. Let me just shut this fence here. I'm going to plant it probably in this area. I just have to make sure that this is a good location. I got this yesterday 2 days ago when I was with Carla. Tiny, tough stuff. I like that name. I think I'm tiny and I'm tough. So, tiny, tough stuff. Well, it's Friday. The weekend's starting. It was beautiful. I went golfing with Ben, and I'm going to end the video now because on Saturday, as I mentioned, it's cold, rainy, warm enough for a fire. I will see you soon. Bye now.